Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video, wherever you are, whatever you may be doing. Thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. Today we're going to be talking a little college basketball about the ACC Big Ten Challenge. But before I get into that, let me say I've got another shout out coming up at the end of the video. Please stay tuned for that. But as far as the ACC Big Ten Challenge is concerned, the ACC leads the all-time challenge, 12 wins, 7 losses, and in 3 years it was a tie where both conferences won the same amount of games. This dates back to 1999. Big Ten won last year 7-5. I want to say the Big Ten got out to a 6-1 lead, and then the ACC won the next 4, and then it all came down to the Wisconsin game, and then Wisconsin won to help the Big Ten win the challenge 7-5. If you're new to college basketball or maybe a youngster that doesn't quite know the history of the ACC Big Ten Challenge that dates back to 1999, it's because the ACC and the Big Ten usually, most years, top to bottom, are the best two conferences in college basketball. So this is just kind of a way to see which conference, top to bottom, is the best, because you really can't do something like this in college football because the season's too short. And you really can't do it in college baseball because a lot of the Big Ten teams play, in a part of the country where it's so cold that they don't really get to start playing baseball till March. And most of the ACC teams start playing in February, so by March, they're in conference play. So this is the only way you really can do it, and they try to do it fairly. It's not like college football where Alabama schedules Miami and you have the best or second best team in the SEC playing in the 10th best team in the ACC. That's not quite a fair matchup. They do it where they try to make the best team in the ACC play the best team in the Big Ten. The second best team in the ACC play the second best team in the Big Ten. That way, it's even course on both sides. It was 2 games last night. Then there'll be 6 games tonight and 6 games tomorrow night. So a total of 14 games. The Big Ten is off to a 2-0 lead because Iowa beat Virginia last night by the score of 75-74, and then Illinois beat Notre Dame by the score of 82-72. Tonight we've got Minnesota and Pittsburgh, Indiana and Syracuse, Clemson and Rutgers, Florida State and Purdue, Northwestern and Wake Forest, and Duke and Ohio State. And tomorrow night we've got Louisville and Michigan State, Nebraska and NC State, Virginia Tech and Maryland. And that game is funny because 20 years ago you had Virginia Tech playing in the Big East and you had Maryland playing in the ACC. And now you have Maryland playing in the Big Ten and Virginia Tech playing in the ACC. And then we have Miami and Penn State, Michigan and North Carolina, and Wisconsin at Georgia Tech will be the final game of the ACC Big Ten Challenge tomorrow night. As I said, the Big Ten's off to a 2-0 start by winning both games last night. 6 games tonight, 6 games tomorrow night. The ACC leads the all-time series 12-7-3. And that's the only bad part about having 14 teams now. And now last year, only 12 teams played. A couple teams did not participate in this. But this year, every team is. So you've got 14 games because of you having 14 teams. So there's a possibility that it'll be another tie with both conferences winning 7 games. And I hate a tie. But that's the way it's going to be. So maybe one conference will win it and we won't have our 4th tie in the all-time ACC Big Ten Challenge. When it first started years ago, both conferences were a lot smaller and they have both grew increasingly over the years. A lot of people are saying the Big Ten needs to change the name of the conference because you've got 14 teams. So you're way more than 10 teams. Maybe they'll call it the Big 14. I don't know, but it's definitely not the Big 10 anymore. Any thoughts on the ACC Big 10 Challenge? Please feel free to let me know. My shout out today goes out to Miss Lori, who lives in South Carolina, and of course she is a Tigers fan. She wanted me to say, go Tigers. She subscribed to the channel last night. So, Lori, thank you so much for subscribing. Spread the word. Help the channel continue to grow. And in case you did not know, if you do so choose to comment on any video at any time in the comment section, you will be eligible for our 1,000 subscriber giveaway whenever we get there. I've got one quick question before we get off of here. Anyone want to buy a broken barometer? No pressure. And that is your dad joke of the day. And that wraps it up for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them.